At number 10, Levi Belfield, United Kingdom, 2002 to 2004. In London's suburbs, Levi Belfield was the kind of man you'd walk past without a second thought. A former nightclub bouncer and wheel clamp operator, he hid his rage behind a cocky smile. Between 2002 and 2004, Belfield hunted young women, including schoolgirl Millie Dowler. He'd drive around late at night, spotting victims walking alone, then strike. His calm attitude during interviews fooled police for years, until DNA evidence and CCTV finally tied him to the murders. When the truth broke, Britain was horrified a man who looked like a regular neighbor had been one of the UK's most ruthless predators. Levi Belfield is serving a whole life sentence with no chance of release. Number 9, Michel Fourniret, France, 1987 to 2003. They called him the Ogre of the Ardennes. Michel Fourniret and his wife Monique Olivier lured young girls with false promises of work or rides. Once they gained trust, the horror began. Over more than a decade, Fourniret kidnapped, assaulted, and killed multiple victims across France and Belgium. He treated murder like a dark obsession, even keeping trophies from his crimes. His calm confession in 2004 shocked the nation he admitted to killing at least 9 young women. He died in 2021, unrepentant, leaving behind unanswered questions and grieving families who never found closure. Number 8, Peter Kürten, Germany, 1929 to 1931. Known as the Vampire of Dusseldorf, Peter Kürten was one of Germany's earliest known serial killers. His crimes were beyond comprehension. He not only murdered, but drank his victims' blood. During the Great Depression, his killings caused mass panic across Germany. He appeared polite, even charming, yet his confessions revealed pure sadism. Kürten claimed he found pleasure in every scream, every drop of blood. He was executed by guillotine in 1931, but his story became a symbol of the darkness that can live beneath a calm surface. Number 7, Jack Unterweger, Austria, 1990 to 1992. Jack Unterweger was a convicted murderer turned media darling. After serving time for killing a woman in 1974, he became a journalist and TV personality celebrated as proof that prisoners could reform. But while interviewing police about prostitution murders across Europe, Jack was secretly committing them himself. He strangled women with their own bras, mimicking his first crime. His fame let him travel freely until investigators noticed a chilling pattern. When exposed, the world felt betrayed. The rehabilitated writer was still a monster. He hanged himself in 1994 after being convicted of 9 murders. Number 6, Harold Shipman, United Kingdom, 1975 to 1998. Dr. Harold Shipman looked like the perfect family physician, polite, trusted, and always available for home visits. But behind that calm smile, he was quietly killing his elderly patients, over 200 of them. Shipman injected lethal doses of morphine, falsified records, and signed death certificates himself. He believed he was untouchable. When he was finally caught in 1998, Britain was horrified. A man sworn to save lives had become the deadliest serial killer in modern history. Shipman took his own life in prison in 2004, leaving behind one haunting question: why? Number 5, Andrei Chikatilo, Soviet Union, Russia, 1978 to 1990. They called him the Butcher of Rostov. Chikatilo's crimes were so gruesome they haunted Russia for decades. He targeted children and young women, often at train stations or forests. For years, Soviet authorities refused to admit a serial killer existed, blaming random suspects. But as bodies piled up, over 50 victims, they could no longer deny it. When caught, Chikatilo's confession was cold and emotionless, almost proud. He was executed by gunshot in 1994. His case changed Russian law enforcement forever and exposed how denial can let evil grow. Number 4, Rosemary and Fred West, United Kingdom, 1967 to 1987. Fred and Rosemary West were a married couple who turned their family home into a house of horror. Together, they kidnapped, tortured, and murdered at least 12 young women, including their own daughter. Neighbors thought they were strange but harmless. No one imagined what was happening behind closed doors at 25 Cromwell Street in Gloucester. When police finally dug beneath their garden, they found buried remains that told stories too dark to speak aloud. Fred took his life in prison before trial. Rosemary West remains behind bars, one of Britain's most hated women. Number 3, Joachim Kroll, Germany, 1955 to 1976. Joachim Kroll was quiet, awkward, and childlike, the kind of man no one took seriously. But behind that shy smile hid one of Germany's most disturbing killers. Kroll murdered at least 13 people over 2 decades, including children. He was caught only after a plumbing blockage led police to discover human remains in his apartment's pipes. His calm reaction stunned officers. He even asked if he'd still make it home for dinner. Kroll died in prison in 1991, leaving behind nightmares that still haunt Germany's history. Number 2, Robert Black, United Kingdom, 1981 to 1990. Robert Black was a delivery driver, the kind of man parents trusted around children. But his job became his cover for a decade of horror. He abducted and murdered several young girls across the UK while on delivery routes. For years, his crimes went unsolved, until a sharp-eyed police team caught him during an attempted abduction. When his full history came to light, even hardened detectives were shaken. Black's chilling lack of remorse made him one of the most hated men in Britain. He died in prison in 2016, unrepentant to the end. And number 1, Niels Högel, Germany, 2000 to 2005. Niels Högel was a German nurse who turned hospitals into hunting grounds. Between 2000 and 2005, he murdered at least 85 patients, though investigators believe the real number may be over 300. He injected them with drugs that caused heart failure, then tried to revive them so he could play the hero. He called it adrenaline. The world called it evil. Högel was caught when hospital staff noticed a strange pattern. Patients always seemed to die during his shifts. When confronted, he calmly confessed, showing no real remorse. In 2019, he was sentenced to life in prison, becoming one of Europe's most prolific serial killers. His crimes shocked the world not just because of the numbers, but because of who he was. A nurse, trusted to save lives, who instead stole them. These stories remind us that evil doesn't wear a mask. It wears a face you might trust. Each of these killers walked among ordinary people, smiling, working, living normal lives, until their darkness surfaced. Europe has seen wars and revolutions, but the true terror always starts quietly, in the mind of one person who chooses to destroy instead of feel. And that's what makes these stories unforgettable. If you want more deep and chilling true crime stories like this, follow and subscribe to the Hidden Crime Lines for the next case. Because behind every peaceful street, there's always a hidden crime line.